It's Monday morning. That means we're going to check in with Dan Smith from Vail Mountain Rescue and learn about their latest missions. And Dan, you guys weren't too busy. You had two missions.
Had two. One was a overdue snow machiner, fairly normal on Shrine Pass. The other was a Minturn mile pair of skiers that were late coming out. They took a very long time to go down the Minturn mile. And actually, they had called in a couple of times. They were on the ridge above the mile and finally got down to it. Both got out on their own before our guys got to them, which is exactly what we want. We want you to call us. We'll get rolling. If you get out on your own, that's fine. If you don't get on your own, well, we're an hour closer to you. Because what people need to understand is we're a minimum of 45 minutes from a trailhead. You're on your own for probably as long as it took you to get in trouble. We've had some people that were on their own for 7 or 8 hours before we got to them, by the time we finally found them. You have to have the gear and you have to have the mental awareness to take care of yourself during that time period. It's not a whole lot of gear. We maybe should start bringing the survival bag in. You can put everything you really need in a quart Ziploc bag. But one of the things people tend to forget about around here, especially our guests, is a headlamp. I don't go out in the woods without a headlamp. I'm planning on being out at 2 in the afternoon, but plans have been known to go awry. So I have a headlamp stuffed in every pack. They're 15 or 20 bucks. If you want to buy one and keep moving it from pack to pack, that's fine. If you live here a while, how many headlamps do you own? Well, a half dozen, something like that.
And this time of year still, we are seeing those shorter daylight hours.
Still shorter. And it's you tend to overestimate how quickly you'll move, especially if you're on a snowshoe and you get in trails that have not been broken. You just doubled your time. And you're going to be coming out in the dark. And you need to take care of that.
Okay, so we had a snowmobiler, and that's the thing. A lot of times snowmobilers, you get so far out from where you started that you don't realize what the trek back is going to be.
20 miles, and you're alone. And I think this guy got stuck for a good while and dug himself out, which is fine. But what if he didn't dig himself out? I've put those things in sometimes where it took 4 of us to dig it out, and I'm not a great writer. And I've seen good writers put them in where it still took 4 of us to dig them out. You manage to get in a creek bottom, you're going to be a time getting out. The machine is just not going to ride out real easy. You have to be able to take care of yourself for overnight. And with the temperatures are now 28 degrees, very survivable temperature if you've got gear. If you don't have gear and you get wet, well, then we have other problems.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And then also doing things alone. We never want people to do that, even if you are in bounds on Vail or Beaver Creek, especially out of bounds.
We have incidents inbounds on Vail of people who get hurt alone, and it takes a while for it to get reported. We have more out of bounds. If you go by yourself, you're not going to have as good a time. And 2, you're asking for trouble. I mean, you're the greatest skier in the world, and you can still take a digger and break an ankle. And if you're alone, you've got problems.
Okay. All right. And you are an all-volunteer run organization.
Oh, we so are. Volunteer organizations are interesting creatures, yes.
Okay.
Nobody gets paid. We do work for the sheriff, hence the star on the shoulder of the jacket. We work under his authority, but everybody's a volunteer. Nobody gets paid. Most people wind up putting about $2,500 of their own money into things. They double their gear. So you're not stealing from your recreational gear for your rescue gear. It's always loaded and packed in the back of your car. And eventually you wind up with 2 complete sets of gear.
Yeah. Okay. All right, we're going to learn more about the Friends of Vail Mountain Rescue and learn how you guys raise funds to continue to do this work, which is so helpful. Just in case something happens, a mishap in the backcountry, it's nice to know you're there.
Well, we appreciate that. And like I said, we're $60,000 to $100,000 a year short between what we get from government and in kind and what it takes to run the business. And that all has to come from the community, and so far it has, and we need for that to continue.
Okay, all right, Dan, thanks for coming in today, and I hope you have a quiet week.
Hope so, too.
We'll check in with you next Monday. Dan Smith from Vail Mountain Rescue, and you can learn more at their website, vailmountainrescue.org, but make sure if you are going to be heading in the backcountry, tell someone where you're going, what route you're taking, and when you expect to be back, and never travel alone. It's a lot more fun to do something with someone else. Let's take it on over to Mark Sassy now. He's standing by. He's going to let us know what the weather's going to be like for our President's Day.